Senator Santorum, thank you for being here. I'm Virginia Ellisor, a retired school teacher, lifelong political activist, and lifelong resident of South Carolina. I'll ask you the same question I asked Senator Cruz, and I'll preface it by saying Michelle Bachmann, I think it was King, said that Boehner made a deal. My question is on defending this country. Thank you for what you do for national security. I'm concerned about sealing these borders and protecting the United States. I've fought that battle all my life.
Thank you.
And I'm losing, and it's because I'm not getting help from my Congress. And anyway, Michelle Bachmann and King, in an interview on one of the stations, said that Boehner made a deal with Obama back in September to be on board with his executive amnesty. The American people put the Republicans back in office in the House and the Senate, and the two things we asked y'all to do were shut down Obama's executive amnesty and shut down Obamacare. And you didn't. You let us down on both issues. Why is the Congress rolling over and letting this communist dictator destroy my country? Y'all know what he is, and I know what he is. I want him out of the White House. He's not a citizen. He could have been removed a long time ago. Larry Clayman's going to get the judge to say that the executive amnesty is illegal. Everything he does is illegal. He's trying to destroy the United States. The Congress knows this. What kind of games is the Congress of the United States playing with the citizens of the United States? Y'all need to work for us, not for the lobbyists that pay your salaries. Amen. Get on board. Well, let's stop all this and save America. You know, what's going on, Senator Santorum? Where do we go from here? Ted told me I've got to wait now until the next election. I don't think the country will be around for the next election. Obama tried to blow up a nuke in Charleston a few months ago, and the three admirals and generals, he has totally destroyed our military. He's fired all the generals and all the admirals that said they wouldn't fire on the American people if you asked them to do so if he wanted to take the guns away from them. This man is a communist dictator. We need him out of that White House now. And the Congress of the United States is the only one. We've lost our Congress. We've lost our executive.
Ma'am, I would ask you please to allow the senator to answer the question.
I got your question.
You've made the question clear. Please let him answer.
Okay, okay. First off, I take somewhat offensive referring it to you because I'm not a sitting member of the Senate, so I'm not taking blame for any of that stuff, right? I mean, But I will tell you this. You've hit on one point that I absolutely agree. This is a complete lack of leadership. The bottom line is that I can tell you when President Obama issued that executive order, I don't care what the executive order was about. When he issued an executive order or executive action that said that he's not only not going to enforce the law, but he is going to actively change that law and make new law and be able to act and force the agencies to act pursuant to that law, he did something that, as you mentioned, the word tyrant comes to mind. That is not, the president does not have the authority to do this. It is the most dangerous, the president has done a lot of dangerous things. This is the most dangerous thing the president has done because what he has done is set a precedent. He has set a precedent for how the executive can act unilaterally. We are already dealing, as many of you know, with the problem of judicial supremacy, where the courts think they can act and call the shots for everything on every issue, of which I push back against and will be happy on a separate question to tell you how we need to do that. But when all the leaders of Congress, Republican and Democrat, saw this president do that, they should have recognized how serious this was. This is not just another political issue. This is not, and I'm going to repeat, this is not about immigration. Oh yeah, it has obviously has a lot to do with immigration. But the bigger, more serious issue for freedom in this country is a president who has now established a precedent that he can decide what the law is and change it irrespective of what Congress does. Ladies and gentlemen, had I been in leadership, and I was at one point, I did, in fact, call members of leadership and ask them. Immediately I called them and I said, look, you cannot treat this like any other issue because it is unlike any issue we've ever dealt with. this is the unraveling in as bold a place you can do of the Constitution of this country. And so I said to them that I would shut down the government of the United States. I would announce it, that we are not going back into session. We are not confirming anybody. We are not passing any bills. And we are going to have hearing after hearing after hearing on the unconstitutionality of what this president has done. We are going to focus single-mindedly. And we will challenge Democrats to stand up for their own oath of office, to stand up for the body in which they serve in, instead of letting this president neuter the people's house, to stand up and say, no, that is not your purview. I agree with what you're doing, but that you can't do that this way. Even the president for years said, he's not an emperor, he can't do this. But they didn't lead. They looked, and I'm telling you, I've been there. Here's what happens when you get to Congress. You worry about making the trains run on time. You're worried about moving things and all your other responsibilities, and you don't step back and sometimes see the forest for the trees. And that's what all these leaders have become. They become pencil pushers, trying to get things done instead of recognizing there's a fire raging that's going to burn the whole forest down as you worry about the tree in front of you. Yes, sir.